What up, YouTube? Ed, WeskerGriff, coming back with a mail day recap video. Got two packages here. One is from eBay. The other one is from MikeO, LLC. Did a purchase from him from his Tuesday auctions. Picked up a bunch of stuff. So looking forward to showing off those two packages with you guys. But a little story time first. Went to the Borgata in Atlantic City and saw Modest Mouse. This was like the 7th or 8th time I've seen Modest Mouse since the early 2000s. It was a good show. First time ever, finally got to hear Cowboy Dan from the Lonesome Crowd of West. That's one of my favorite Modest Mouse songs. So really glad that Isaac finally decided to play that. On another note, I'm going to be seeing Johnny Marr coming up at the end of the month here. And Johnny Marr was actually in Modest Mouse, so whenever Modest Mouse plays songs from We Were Dead Before the Ship Sank, which is the album Johnny did a lot of guitar lines for, it always sounds super weird because it's not the same without Johnny Marr not doing the riffs. And whenever they play Dashboard or Fired Up, it just isn't the same. But I'm really looking forward to seeing Johnny again. That'll be my third time seeing him, so that should be a great show. You're probably wondering, since I was in Atlantic City at the Borgata, if I placed any sports bets. I did not get down there in time to bet on the Brewers. I wanted to put a boatload on the Brewers for Game 3 since they were underdogs. I think they were plus 150 at the Borgata. Wanted to really crash that line, but I did not get in time. I think I was like 5 or 10 minutes behind, which is kind of ironic. Probably some of you are thinking because Wade Miley, that shitbag, was pitching for the Brewers, and you're probably wondering why I would put money on Wade Miley, but the Brewers are just so hot right now. I mean, that team is rolling like crazy, and yeah, so I didn't place any bets this time, so if I'm ever in Atlantic City again, I'll have to contemplate on who to take. But that's all I got there. Now on to the pickups. This is a segue to the Brewers. Picked this card up about a few weeks ago, and I was really concerned that this card was never going to show up because the seller never provided tracking, and this card just kept rising in value steadily over the days. But it finally showed up after, I think, like 3.5 weeks. This is the Topps Update Walmart version Blue Border rookie of Christian Yelich. And what a season this guy has had. He is, without a doubt in my mind, the MVP of the National League. An absolute monster season from this guy. Almost won the Triple Crown. And if I'm a Miami Marlins fan, I just want to smack Jeter right in the face, because this guy, Derek Jeter, literally gave away Christian Yelich for nothing to the Milwaukee Brewers. And that is just insane to me. It's potentially Jeter gave up 2 MVPs for nothing. And I'm even more mad that the Phillies didn't even try to get this guy. So definitely they need to clean house in the scouting department a little bit, the Phillies, for not even trying to get this guy. But Christian Yelich, an absolute monster season. I'm curious to see how he does in the championship series. And he's just a young kid playing really well. So I wanted to hop on picking up one of his his main rookie card. Couldn't speak there, but yeah, I got that. And now on to the MikeO LLC purchases from the auction house. Always have a great time hanging out in the chat, talk with you guys here in the community, and watching Mike auction off some stuff. He wrote me a little note here. He put, "Ed, enjoy. You robbed me again, MikeO." And I have gotten some really great deals from Mike. By the way, Mike was trolling a little bit here. He put hashtag Chris Davis is stealing money. That goes back with me and him talking about how much of a trash can Chris Davis has been. But I got this amazing custom from Mike. This 1-on-1, the 2018 LVP, least valuable player. Chris Davis had a 168 batting average. He had 192 strikeouts. He had a negative 2.8 WAR, which really it should be higher. And he's got paid $23 million. Mr. Scott Boras is the one that represents Chris Davis. So I want to know, Scott's always fighting for his clients tooth and nail to get the max money. What happens when his clients don't perform? Does he give the money back? That is why I cannot stand Scott Boras. He drives me nuts. Rhys Hoskins recently signed to Scott Boras, so I'm not looking forward to that. Might have to cut ties with him when he hits free agency. And he wants to get $400 million for Bryce Harper, so good luck with that. Hopefully the Phillies aren't stupid enough to give $400 million to Bryce Harper. But Yeah, Chris Davis, awful. The epitome of awful, and the Orioles are absolutely stuck with him. Which, speaking of the Orioles, I'm just going to show off some of the cards here while I babble on about the Orioles. But the Orioles, they got rid of Dan Duquette, which was very long overdue. But they got rid of Buck, which I was pretty disappointed with. I've been a pretty ardent Buck supporter. I really feel that he was pretty much given a switchblade to a gunfight, so he didn't really have anything to work with. He did a tremendous job as the manager of the Orioles, and I know a lot of people give him a lot of heat for not putting in Britain 1 year against, I think it was the Blue Jays, but he really did a great job turning a lot of things around in Baltimore and really getting Baltimore back to respectability, and it's a shame that they're not retaining him and kind of having him walk into the sunset. I mean, really, if you think about it, and this is just my opinion, Dan Duquette really, he just did a god-awful job. He never brought in a front-line starting pitcher, a true ace he never brought in. Even when the Orioles were in the ALCS, ready to take the next step, he didn't do any. I mean, he only got Andrew Miller. He never got them a true ace for the front line of the staff. The Orioles went to the ALCS with Chris Tillman as their number one and Bud Norris. I mean, come on, that's insane. And I mean, he let Nelson Cruz go. He didn't double down on Cruz. Instead, he gave all the money to Chris Davis, which is going to, speaking of, Chris Davis shows up. He gave all the money to Chris Davis, which has been an absolute disaster. And then he waited too long to trade Manny Machado, and he waited too long to trade Scope and a lot of the other guys. Kevin Gausman, they could never develop Dylan Bundy. Bundy and Gausman, they never really lived up to the hype in Baltimore, although Gausman's looking pretty decent for the Braves, and I expect him to do well because it seems whenever starting pitchers leave Baltimore, they always do fantastic. But that's just some of my thoughts on the Orioles' current situation. Personally, I feel Dan Duquette just absolutely ran the Orioles into the ground. They're going to have a real while before they go back to contending. They just got to draft smart, develop players, and their rebuild's going to take a while, in my opinion. This is the card that I probably stole from MikeO that he's talking about. I think I got this for $1, Alex Bregman. Chance Cisco, Jordan Hicks, Eddie Mofo Murray, and Franco. I'll be kind of curious to see if the Phillies looking to maybe bringing on Buck in some role, because there's so many guys that are in the Phillies front office that work for the Orioles. I mean, that used to work for the Orioles, like Andy McPhail, Clintack, and those guys. Shohei Ohtani. I feel like this is going to be an iconic card. I know MikeO has talked about this. But this Shohei, I mean, everyone was chasing for this card, for the autograph version of this card. So I feel a couple years down the road that people will really gravitate towards this card being one of the iconic cards from this time. Even depending on what Ohtani does, regardless of what he does. De Los Santos, Nick Williams, and Trey Mancini. And then these weren't a part of the auction. I just bought these off Mike separately and made him an offer, and he accepted it. This is the 2018 Topps Now Scott Kinnery, Gem Mint 10. So Kinnery, honestly, he really didn't live up to the hype. A lot of people were saying that he was going to be incredible, but I really placed a lot of the blame on the way Gabe Kapler handled Kinnery. He had him all over the field. He had him playing shortstop, second base, outfield, left field, right field, center field. He had him as a friggin' pitcher. He had him pitch a few games, for God's sakes. This kid he was not comfortable the entire season. And when you're a young kid, you need to be comfortable on the field in order to have success. At least that's my personal opinion. So they need to have this guy playing second base every day. Tell him this is where you're going to bat in the lineup every day, and just see what he does. See what we got. But there's Kinnery. Next, we got a 2018 Topps Gypsy Queen, Rhys Hoskins. This is Gem Mint 10. Nice card. Mike had a ton of these, so made him an offer. And then this last one here, the Bowman's Birthday Chrome, Gem Mint 10. So some Rhys. So that's all I got for you guys. Again, just throwing, you know, it was like you were hanging out with me. I was giving you some of my opinions on the Phillies and the Orioles, and that's what they are. They're opinions. And I always like to be on, sometimes, most of the time, I like to be on record with how I feel about certain things. I don't shy away from giving my 2 cents, but that's all I got for you guys. So thanks for watching. Have a great one, and keep on collecting. Let's go.